Welcome to another episode of Inside the Can, your guide inside the hottest, most honest trash talk. My name is JT, and I'll be your pilot on this precarious plunge inside your can as we get to know your waste inside and out. This week, we will be exploring household hazardous waste. And the man helping us survive this dangerous dive is straight from Crow Wing County, their Environmental Services Supervisor, Tom Strag. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
Let's start by getting to know exactly what are household hazardous waste.
Yes, HHW. It's those types of things that we don't want to see in our garbage. So, some common examples are things like bleach, pool chemicals, paints, any type of oil, used gasoline, flammable type stuff. Just those types of things that you necessarily wouldn't want to throw in your garbage.
Now that we know exactly what they are, let's talk about a couple other details. How can I tell if a product is considered a household hazardous waste?
The first things that you're like, man, this isn't my normal garbage. You're going to see labels like warning, hazardous. You might see a skull and crossbones. It might say flammable, toxic. It's going to be those types of things that, you're going to pause and say, this doesn't seem like my normal garbage.
Do you have some common examples you can give us?
Yeah. You're going to see anything from like household bleach to something as crazy as like a muriatic acid and anything in between. A lot of what we see is latex paint. That's probably our biggest thing that we get at the landfill. But you can have oil-based paints, drywall, spackling, can of aerosol spray paint, things like ant killer or weed killer. You got a bottle of Roundup in your garage. You also see pool chemicals, acids and bases, or even gasoline. Lots of different things that can be considered a hazardous waste.
So if those containers are empty, are those still considered hazardous?
If they are empty, generally no. So if you have like latex-based paint and it's all dried out and got crusty, that can go right in the garbage can. If you have an empty can of spray paint, you push the nozzle, nothing comes out, there's no spray anymore, that can go right in the garbage can. Generally, same thing with like pesticides. If you rinse them a couple times, use that rinsate. It's really if you have any residual, anything left in that, any free liquid. And it's not, not all HHWs are liquid either. There can be some solids. If you have an empty can, generally it's considered used and it can go right in the trash.
Speaking of solids, what about batteries? Are batteries considered HHWs?
Yeah, so batteries are not considered a household hazardous waste, but that doesn't mean we should throw them away. There's a lot of different types of batteries that we use every day. We do accept batteries and encourage people to bring batteries to us. Those lithium type batteries, those rechargeable batteries, those are the type that we want to keep out of the landfill. We oftentimes have AA, AAA, C, D type batteries, those alkaline batteries. Those can go in the landfill, but your rechargeable ones are the ones that have a propensity to catch fire, explode, make a really bad problem in the landfill. So when we go and lay the garbage in lifts and it gets crushed, that battery gets punctured, and then we can have a garbage fire. With today's batteries, we start to see more and more rechargeable and even like big batteries that can really have a big impact in the landfill and cause a big fire. So we really encourage people to bring those to us, and properly dispose of them. And you'll also see batteries that generally go back to the manufacturer or the retailer, or places like Battery Plus will sometimes take them. The real goal is to keep batteries out of landfill because we want to recycle those precious metals and we don't want to cause an accident and catch something on fire. These batteries do tend to swell up once in a while and overheat, and they call it a thermal runaway, and you can't control it. So
right, we talked about it in our last episode how fires have just like happened nonstop at some of these places. It's not good.
Yeah, and when that happens, that's expensive, right? And so we're all about trying to keep expenses down at the landfill and make it as affordable as possible. That's our number one goal, is to have a safe, affordable place for people to bring their stuff. And when we don't follow the rules, the rules are there for a reason. It gets expensive for us, and then we have to raise prices and everything. So we try to do our best to serve the residents of the county, keep prices low, and we just hope the residents will help us in that mission that we have.
Let's continue with some solids. What about like any medicine or medical sharps?
Yeah, so the prescription drugs, medicine, we have a program called Take It to the Box. There's a box located in our sheriff's office. You throw them in the box, you walk away, and you're all good to go. We take those and we bring them to be incinerated, so that way those medicines don't end up in our water supply, end up in the landfill. Make sure they're not getting in the wrong hands, all that kind of stuff. Sharps, we don't collect at the recycling center at the landfill, but if you have a medical type box for your sharps, you stick them in there, you throw them in the garbage.
When I go to the landfill, do I have to do any prep for you guys?
Not really. So the landfill is open in the summertime, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and then Saturdays, 8 to noon. You load them in your car, you stop at the scale house, you talk to our landfill operators, and they'll direct you up to the recycling center where you can drop them off. You put them on some carts, or we have staff there that'll help unload your car. Otherwise, kind of come by. It's free for Crow Wing County residents.
So is there anywhere else besides the landfill in the area where I could take my hazardous waste?
Yeah, the Ideal transfer station that's run by Ideal Township, they do accept some hazardous waste, but there's a fee for that for them. The county staff goes there and picks it up from them, but if you're looking to get rid of it for free, you can bring it to the county landfill, and we'll accept that from Crow Wing County residents only.
That was going to be my next question. Is there a cost?
It's completely free. Our free programs are limited to residential uses. Commercial type things, that's a little different avenue. You can always call us. We can help navigate some of that. But if you have any HHW, it is free. The same with the batteries. The batteries are free. We also take fluorescent lamp bulbs. Those are kind of becoming phased out in Minnesota. Yeah. Those are $1 bulb if they're intact, $2 in today's prices. Yeah, we do take those as well. It's a good place to get rid of them.
So if I'm taking my stuff down there, do I need to transport these HHWs in any certain way?
Normally when you're dealing with household hazardous waste, it's stuff that you're going to buy at a grocery store or a hardware store. As long as that container isn't leaking and is properly identified, you're good to go. So we can't accept anything that is unlabeled. So if you bring me a mason jar full of some unknown liquid, we can't take that because we don't know how to handle that, right? It could be a wild variety of things. Just call us. We'll try to help you through that. But generally, most of what you're getting is ant killer and paint. And, as long as it's not leaking and soaking in your car, or, you can't smell it, it's not putting off a bunch of vapors, you just bring it to us and we'll take care of it.
Okay. So a lot of people watching are going to get, well, that sounds like a lot of work to get rid of those things. Is there any reason why I shouldn't throw them just into my trash and let somebody else deal with it?
That's a good point. And this is maybe a question you're going to help answer too in a second. But if these types of hazardous waste go into your trash, one, it's not permitted. They're going to end up in the landfill. And, we do the best we can to keep that landfill as clean as possible. We don't want to pollute the environment. But the more we throw in the landfill that shouldn't be in the landfill, the harder time we have keeping our one earth clean. That's the goal. Properly recycle and dispose of these things. If we find them, we're oftentimes calling the hauler back saying, hey, we found a couple gallons of paint. We need you to come pick it out.
Yes, everybody tries to hide stuff. They'll kind of layer it in there and cover it up. And we see it as it falls in the truck. And if we do see that, I'll either have to pull it out and give it back to you, and then you get to deal with it. Or they hide it in there, and then they think we're just going to take care of it for them. So,
and oftentimes you will take care of it for them, but at a cost, right?
Yeah.
And so if we see that county landfill and we're able to identify something that shouldn't be there, we know where every load goes, we can trace it all back. Oftentimes you're coming back to pick up a lot of stuff. You guys are business, you got to pass it along. It's just better to bring it to the county recycling center. It is free. We are a one-stop drop. So if you have a mattress and a chair, and a battery and some household hazardous waste, come in, stop by, say hi to us. At least come check things out. We built a new recycling center in 2023, and that's open to the public. So it's a neat place to come. I know most people don't think of landfills as cool. I do. We have a reuse center at the recycling center. You can come in and browse that when the recycling center is open. And if you find something you like, you can take it for free. We'll get a lot of things like caulking or motor oil or transmission fluid or paints. It's all on the shelves. You can come and stop by. So if you got a small project around the house, come in and grab it. You might have something you need.
So it's not like take a penny, leave a penny thing?
No, you don't have to bring anything to us. You can just stop by. We have a lot of people that do.
Nice. If I have any more questions or somebody's looking to find out more information, what's the best route? Is there a website, somebody to call?
We do have a county website, crowwing.gov, and you can search for hazardous waste or recycling on there. Otherwise, our phone number is 218-824-1010. You can always give us a call, and we're going to get you to the right person, Or you can always call the landfill. We'll get you the answer one way or another.
Awesome.
Oftentimes your best bet is just to call that 1010 number.
So I want to thank you again for coming out and talking trash with us. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate it.
This has been another edition of Inside the Can. Follow us on your favorite social media sites to ensure you don't miss the next aromatic adventure, because being trashy is more sophisticated than you think.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I think we did good.
Yeah, I like the first version better.
What are you guys doing?
Just talking trash.